Thank you so much for joining us today. So close to caucus day. The weather has obviously been a major hurdle. We had snow, now we have sub-zero temperatures. How is that snow and cold weather impacting your final push?
I mean, it's cold, but we are going to fight for every vote all the way until caucus starts. I mean, that is hugely important. We've spent 11 months doing this, and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going. And Iowans get how the responsibility that comes with this. They get the fact that they set the tone for the rest of the country on where we go with this election. And I think they take it seriously. And so we hope they're safe. We hope they layer up. We hope they remember to bring their ID. And we look forward to a good caucus.
For the last few months, the polls have been showing Donald Trump with a commanding lead. There is a possibility that some Iowans listen to that, look at that, and believe there's a foregone conclusion that Trump has this wrapped up, and so they stay home and they don't go caucus. How do you rally and motivate your supporters to actually get out, brave that cold weather, and not see this as wrapped up for Trump?
You know, the Iowans that we've talked to and the Iowans that we've spent months really building relationships with, they want to see the country go in a different direction. They don't want the same names of Biden and Trump. 75% of Americans don't want to see another race with Biden and Trump. They want a new generational leader that's going to leave the negativity and the baggage of the past and move forward with solutions of the future. So they're motivated. They want to get out. They want to be a part of the solution. They want life to be better for their kids. And I think that they're going to show up. I think that they see that this is a turning point. And I think they also see that we can't be a country in disarray and have a world on fire and go through 4 more years of chaos, because we won't survive it.
A couple of Iowans that I just spoke with, all of them told me that their top issue is border security. Trump and DeSantis have both been very outspoken about border security, saying that a DeSantis or a Trump administration would have the largest deportation in history. Why are you the strongest candidate on border security?
When I was governor, I passed one of the toughest illegal immigration laws in the country. Obama sued me over it. And so this has been a fight that I've had for a long time. It is inexcusable that we still have an open border. And that's why I've said we've got to take what I did in South Carolina and go national with it. Do a national E-Verify where every business has to prove that the people they hire are in this country legally. Defund sanctuary cities once and for all. Put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job. Go back to the Remain in Mexico policy so that no one even steps foot on U.S. soil. And instead of catch and release, go to catch and deport. And yes, you have to deport them out because you can't keep incentivizing people to come here. We've got to let them know we're a country of laws. The second we stop being a country of laws, we give up everything this country was founded on. And what bothers me is America's acting like it's September 10th. We better remember what September 12th felt like, because it only takes one person to have a 9/11 moment.
The other thing that I continue to hear from Iowans who are still undecided is that they just want to caucus for someone that's electable. Are you electable?
You know, I think look at the polls, and that's what we've been saying is we cannot afford a President Kamala Harris. I mean, that should send a chill up anyone's spine. And if you look in all the polls going against Biden, Ron doesn't defeat Biden. Trump is head-to-head with Biden. It's going to be another nail-biter where we're holding our breath. On a good day, he might be up by 2. In every one of those head-to-head polls, I defeat Biden by double digits, 17 points. That's bigger than a presidency. That's House, that's Senate, that's governorships, that's all the way down to school board. You win by double digits going into D.C., that's a mandate to get our economy back on track and stop that wasteful spending. That's a mandate to get our kids reading again and go back to the basics on education. That's a mandate to secure our border with no more excuses. That's a mandate to bring law and order back to our country, and that's a mandate for a strong America that we can all be proud of. That's what we're focused on. That's where we're trying to go, and that's what I think Iowans want.
In 2016, 62% of Republicans who caucused self-identified as evangelicals, a large part of the Republican Party here in Iowa. And the latest polls show that their first choice is Donald Trump. On DeSantis, he has Bob Vander Plaats, who's a major evangelical leader that's endorsed him. What is your campaign doing to try to win over Christian conservatives in Iowa?
I think being myself. You know, I walk by faith, not by sight. The reason that I don't get personal in these politics like the fellas do is because I know that God has me by the right hand. And this is something that we know we're doing for the right reasons. There were 14 candidates. We had 2% in the polls. We continue to build by just being me, letting people know who I am, what I believe in, the fact that I want us to go back to faith, family, and country. That's where our country is at her best. Go back to the values that we know made America great in the first place. And so we've had people like Marlis Patma, who was the past Right to Life chair. We've had other people who are faith-based that have decided to come on board. But we want to go and get normal people, people who understand and have kids that know, like I do, I don't want my kids to grow up like this. I want them to have a better life than what they have. But in order to do that, we've got to have a new generational conservative leader that's going to move past this negativity, move past this chaos. We can't do this anymore. But what we can do is say we're better than this. We can do more than this. I think President Trump was the right president at the right time. I don't think he's the right president going forward because we can't lose again. We've got to win, and the only way we win is if we make sure that we make a change for a new generational leader.
I want to talk a little bit about last week's presidential debate that was here in Des Moines. There was a lot of mudslinging on that stage, a lot of policy questions that turned into attacks between you and Ron DeSantis. I have had Iowans tell me I was hoping to make a decision by looking at that debate, but all I heard was a lot of negativity. You continue to say chaos follows Donald Trump. How can you reassure those Iowans that after they saw a whole lot of negativity on stage, if you were in the White House, chaos would not follow you?
I think that you first have to look at debates the week of. There's a lot that happens. We've seen a lot of lies on TV, and when those play out on a stage, it becomes a bit of a scrum because you're trying to get, the truth out there about what you believe on certain issues. And so it does come across chaotic, and that's unfortunate. That's why we have done over 160 town halls. We are focused on going and telling people everything that we're for, what we want to do. That's why we put it on NikkiHaley.com so that people have the opportunity to see what the solutions are that will go forward. But I think look at my record. You look at me as a governor in South Carolina, and we went through a lot of really tough crises, and we came back stronger than ever. We didn't have riots, we didn't have fighting. We had prayers, we had vigils. We brought South Carolinians together. We dropped 11% unemployment down to 4%. We did voter ID, we did tort reform, we did pension reform. We passed the toughest illegal immigration law in the country. We paid down our debts, we built up our coffers, and everybody was proud again. You look at what I did at the UN. We took $1 billion off the top. We made sure that we told countries what America was for and what America was against. I didn't care if they didn't like me, but I wanted them to respect America. And we were able to get things done. The tone at the top matters. And I have always focused on how do you bring out the best in people so that we can move forward. And that's what I'll continue to do as president.
You were one of the first candidates to jump into this race. You were the second one after Donald Trump. How's that impacted the rest of your campaign?
The reason I jumped in quickly was because I didn't care who else got in the race. None of that mattered to me. Politics is not personal. For me, this was about, could I do the job? Did I have the experience to do it? And I knew I did. And I knew our country needed to heal. I knew our country needed to be strong again. And we had to get out of all of this craziness that's happening in our country. And so I didn't trust anybody else to do it. I said, I'm going to go in there and do it myself. And we have done that. We had 14 candidates, and it's quickly going to a two-person race with me and Trump. And I'll continue to go down that path. And I'll continue to over-communicate with people to let them know what I'm doing in the campaign. And that won't stop when I'm president. If you look at when I was governor and ambassador, I over-communicated everything because you want to give the people you serve all the information and let them know what you're doing all the time so that they too are invested in the solutions. And I think we need to have that back in America again.
I want to quickly ask you about Chris Christie's hot mic moment. A lot of people, before he dropped out, but when there was some news that maybe he was considering getting out of the race, wondered, is Chris Christie going to endorse Nikki Haley? He didn't endorse you, but right before, instead, on a hot mic, he said she's going to get smoked. For people who may hear that and think, Is there credence? Is there believability to that? What's your response to Chris Christie thinking that?
I mean, the fellas have said that from the very beginning. But this isn't personal for me like it's personal for them. I don't take politics personally. I wish him well. But I'm not asking for his endorsement. I don't need his endorsement. There were 14 candidates, and now it's going to 2. So we'll decide, everybody else can decide who got smoked in this race. I'm going to stay focused on what we need to do to right the ship to get our country back on track. I don't care what the fellas say. I've got a job to do.
For caucus goers who may be walking in Monday night and they still don't know who they're going to caucus for, you have 30 seconds. What's your final pitch on why they should caucus for you?
I've been a 2-term governor that took a double-digit unemployment state and turned it into an economic powerhouse. I dealt with China, Russia, and Iran every day. I know how to get our national security back on track so that we prevent wars. This is about making sure that we move forward. We can't have another nail-biter of an election. We can't continue in this chaos. We can't be a country in disarray and have a world on fire and go through 4 more years of chaos. You don't defeat Democrat chaos with Republican chaos. The way we go forward is with a new generational conservative leader that's not going to have vengeance, vendettas, or take things personally, but going to go forward and make sure we do everything we can so that your family is protected, safe, and has the opportunities to continue to go forward in a way that America was supposed to be. And we're going to make you proud at the end of the day.
Ambassador Haley, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.